What's up, fam? Welcome back, and today I'm bringing you guys, as I promised, a tutorial video on how I make my Twitch overlays for my Twitch streams. I did a video that will be down below in the description on how I stream to Twitch and the easiest and fast way to do it. I explained that I was going to do a tutorial on how to make a overlay for your Twitch to make it look more professional and everything like that, because everybody likes to make more professional, obviously. So what you got to do in order to make an overlay for your Twitch stream is you're going to go to your Photoshop app. I have CS6, which is probably what most of you have. I'm not sure with the other ones, but this is the tutorial on how to do it with the CS6. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to File up here, and then you're going to click on the very first one, which is New. Alright, then you can name your file whatever you want. I'll just name this tutorial for the time being. I always keep my width and my height at 1920 by 1080, and for my overlays I keep it in pixels. Some people do inches, but I keep mine in pixels just because I think it comes out a little bit better with what I'm specifically trying to do. Make sure your resolution is at 72 pixels per inch. RGB color, obviously 8-bit. Background color is set to transparent. Alright, as you guys can see all the settings there, that's pretty much all you got to do. Make sure your preset is to custom, so when you guys do set this, it will stay there. And then you press OK. Alright, then you should see something popped up like this, and this is what you're going to be starting off with. Alright, so what you want to do is you're going to, what I do and how I do it, you go to this rectangle box right here, but I'm set to the rectangle one right here. But if you want to change it, right click on it and you can choose from whatever you want. If you want your overlays to be circular or polygonal, I don't know if that's a word, but anyway, rectangular. I like to do a rounded rectangle. So what you want to do, you can do it here like this, both like that, and you can kind of see it's a little rounded right there. Then not a lot. So what you guys want to do to make sure that this is centered in the middle, if you want it centered, or if you want it all the way across, you can make it all the way across, but that's not how I do it. I like to make it about like this. But if you want to make sure it's centered onto your screen, what you want to do is press Control A. Oh, sorry about that. Make sure you are on the clicker, so apply a transformation. So just go up here, click on that, and apply to the transformation. Alright, now Control A. As you guys can see, that dotted line is outlining the whole entire square, rectangle. So what you want to do after you've got it all highlighted, after you Control A, go up to Layer, click on Layer, go down to Align Layers to Selection, and click on Horizontal Centers. As you guys can see right there, it has centered my box to my whole entire space. If you want to and then to deselect it, all you have to do is Control D, and there you go, you've deselected it, and you can still move this around or whatever your case may be, but to keep it in the middle, I'd leave it where it is. Alright guys, so that's pretty much what that is right there. Let's say you want to make a one on the bottom. All you got to do is come over here to the rectangle, rounded rectangle, rectangle one, whatever you had. Choose it. It's going to be right there. You're going to right click on it. You're going to get a huge drop down box. What you want to click on is Duplicate Layer, and then you can name it something else if you want to. You should keep it on the same document, then press OK. Now it didn't look like it copied it, but what you got to do is just click on it and drag it down. As you guys can see, it does indeed copy it. Now, like I said, if you want to make sure it's all centered, make sure you click Control A. There you go. Like I said, highlights the whole thing. Go up to Layer, down to Align Layers to Selection, and then go down to Horizontal Centers. Boom, right there, your whole thing is lined up in the middle like so, and like I said, Control D will deselect it. Now let's say that you want to add some text to it, or if you want to change the colors to it. Let's change the colors of these first, because some people maybe just don't like the red or the regular fill that it gives you. So what you want to do is you're going to right click on either one of these, doesn't really matter. Right click on it and then go to blending options right there. And then you can put a stroke on it as well if you want to change the opacity or the size of the stroke. As you guys can see on the bottom, it changes. Or you can change it. You can put a color overlay. You can change it to a different color. Any of these colors right here. You know, you could change blue, whatever you want it to change to. Or what I personally like to do is I like to do gradient overlays. Gradient overlays, as you guys can see, gives it a kind of a fade to a different color. So what you want to do is you're going to click on that. Click on the box right here, and it will give up this right here. And you have a whole bunch of options to change from. You can change it to this, to this, to this, to this, that. Whatever you want to do. Now, it doesn't mean you have to stick with those particular colors. So if you want just a white and a red, you can change it to that. But if you want the red to be a greenish color, double click on that bucket. So double click on that little bucket right there. This will pop up. If you want a lighter red, you can do that. Or if you want a bluish color, you can put the cursor and drag it down. There you go. You can drag it down to a green. You can click over. You can do a lot of things with this. And let's say you want, let's say we want that color right there. Then press OK. It changed. And then double click on the white one if you were wanting to change this to, let's say, a red or a blue, because that kind of looks pretty cool, or like a yellowish, you know, orangish color. Whatever you prefer is all up to you, and it's all your personal preference. Alright, we'll just press OK and we'll keep that saved. If you guys, obviously, I like to do drop shadows. Actually, for mine, drop shadows will allow a little bit of a shadow below here. It's very, very faint, but when you are in the stream, it will show up pretty significantly. So I like to put that on there. It gives it a little bit more of an effect. And yeah, and then press OK when you're done with that, and then do the same thing with this one as well. Now, I forgot, now one thing you can do, the easier way to do it, is just change this one, you know, just when you only have one and you don't have this one yet, you can, and before you copy and duplicate the layers, you can make this one the way you want this one to be, and then you can right click on this and then duplicate layer, and it'll come out the same. So watch. Let's say that this one was the first one that I did. So we'll just click on that, right click on it, and then duplicate layer. Like I said, you can rename it whatever you want, and then you can pull it out, and that's what you can do. So you can put it like right there, whatever the case may be. That's just for the sake of the tutorial. I'll put it above it. So that's what it kind of should look like. So yeah, and if you mess up or anything like that, how I just did that, let's just say I just messed up. You do Control Z. As you guys can see there, it is messed up to where it was. So then you Control Alt Z, or Control Z again, and it goes right back to the way it was. Just to make sure you guys know that if you guys do mess up, you don't have to worry about starting over or anything like that, or spending a lot of time making it perfect. So as you guys can see there is your frames right there. If you want to do more to it, it's all up to you. It's your personal preference. This is all your overlays, not mine. I will actually show you guys mine after we get done with my tutorial. So what you guys want to do if you want to add any text to it is you're going to go to this capital T right here on the bar, and you're going to click on that, and then, oh, not that way. Anyway, we'll just, don't do this. I messed up. Don't look at what I'm doing right now, alright? Alright, we're going to start over. Make sure you are clicked on the T, and then click, and then drag if you want a bigger space, or whatever the case may be. As you guys can see, you're typing there, so I'm going to put in my name for safety purposes. Alright, there we go. RGC Savage. Doesn't really matter. Right up here is how you can change the fonts and everything like that. There's a lot of different fonts that you can choose from. I have a couple of custom ones, and if you're interested in any custom ones, what you have to do is here, I'll show you guys real quick. Just minimize that. If you want some customized fonts, go to your internet browser and then type in 1001 free fonts. As you guys can see here, right there, I've already been on it. 1001 free fonts is ridiculously good. It gives you all these fonts, and then all you have to do is download them. Let's say you just click on the download. It says free for personal use. You open and save it, and then it'll be open up on your Photoshop. Actually, you know what? I'll show you guys how to do it. We'll open it up. You got to open it up. It might look a little different for you since I have a WinRAR is my unzip file, but anyway, it should look somewhat like this. Double click on that. As you guys can see, it comes up, and then you install it, and then it'll come up on your Photoshop drop down box right, hold on, then it'll come up on your Photoshop drop down box right here. So anyway, we'll just keep a regular font for now. Like I said, if you want to make it, let's make the box a little bit smaller, and then you can press enter, or you don't have to press enter, and then click on the arrow up in the top corner to make sure you're clicked, and then drag it onto your box right there. Let's just say you want it there. If you want to change it a little bit, you can rise it up. Like I said, you can change any of the fonts, the size of the fonts. You can, whatever the case may be, if you want to change anything like that or anything like this, whatever you want to do. Like I said, it's all personal preference. And if you want to change any of the effects on the words, it's the same thing you did with the boxes with the words. So what you want to do is make sure that if you've changed any of the size of it, make sure you click on this arrow and then apply the changes. Then right click on the text box, as you guys can see on the right corner here, and then you're going to blending options at the very top one like you did on the box, and then you can put in different things. Say you want a stroke on it to make it stand out a little bit more. You can put a gradient overlay on it with the same thing, or some type of glow to it, or another drop down shadow. It is all personal preference on what you want to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Actually, real quick, let me show you one more thing. If you guys are interested in putting your social medias, your YouTube and all that stuff on there, but you want the symbols and not just the names, which all you've literally got to do, it's easy as pie. Just minimize your Photoshop, go into your Internet Explorer. Let's say that you've got a YouTube that you want to put on your Twitch stream overlay. So obviously what you're going to do is you're going to have YouTube, go to images. Alright, let's say you just want a regular box like this. Alright, and then just going to right click and then save picture as. And then you save pictures, you save it to your pictures. As you guys can see here, I have quite a bit of pictures saved. But anyway, don't worry about what I just did. Alright, like I said, save picture as. Make sure you're on pictures right here. Then save it. You can rename it whatever you want. You can change the type, but I would always keep it at JPEG or PNG. And then go ahead and save it. Then you can minimize it if you're going to use it later, whatever the case may be, or you can exit out. Then what you want to do is you're going to go to File and then Open. And then you guys can see here, there's the YouTube logo. You're going to open it up. And this is what you get right now. Now, let's say you don't want this. You just want the box. You don't want the white in the background. What you guys want to do is Control A. As you guys can see, it highlights the whole entire box. Then you're going to go to this little brush with the circle around the end of it and click on that. Now, I would click on the minus since this is all highlighted. That means if you copied it, this white would come with it. So what you want to do is you're going to click the little minus with the paintbrush and then click here and start dragging it. As you guys can see, it'll start outlining just this. You get over here. There, as you guys can see, just the play button is outlined, and say you want this middle play button to be out as well, just click on that and it'll highlight as well. Now look at this. It is very nice and done. So what you want to do is Control C. That will copy the play button. Then go back to your overlay, which should be at the top left of your corner of your screen. Make sure you've got the arrow clicked, and then Control V. Okay. Control C. Go up here, and then Control V. There we go. It should work the first time for you, but as you guys can see, it's transparent in the middle, so that means if I make it smaller, let's say you make it smaller, and you want to put it over here, as you guys can see, the middle button will be, or the middle play button will stay the same color as this. If you don't want that, just go ahead and over here, and then don't deselect this. Now, if you accidentally deselect something, go back up to the little paintbrush with the circle, and then click the plus button right here. If you want this back, all you got to do is click and then drag it, and then there you go, it is played. Oh, there you go. And then you can Control C that, and then click back on this, and then Control V. As you guys can see right there, it comes back as the same thing with the white button, and then you can minimize this to your liking. As you guys can see, this is the other one. Now if you don't want this one, make sure you click on the arrow if you ever have any trouble playing with anything, and apply the transformation, and then click on this layer right here, which layer 2 is the small one, layer 1 is the bigger one, and then you can just delete this layer by right clicking on the layer. Oh, hold on. Right clicking on the layer and then delete layer, and then it'll ask you if you're sure, and then yes, and then it's gone. And then you would click back on layer 2, and then you would move it to your liking, and then you can put your certain types of text like this. Make sure you apply the changes, and then you can make a text like, we'll just put mine, RGC underscore, oh, oops, what the, oh, it's outside. Okay, I was gonna say that shouldn't happen to you. I just accidentally messed up with my, oh, but hold on, don't worry about it. This won't happen to you, I promise. Whoa, 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 calm down. Sorry guys, I know this is kind of weird. We'll just keep it at that for right now, but that won't happen to you. Just don't be freaked out, but that won't happen to you. And then what you can do is you can type in RGC, you know, or your own thing, underscore savage. Say it's too big. What you're gonna do is click on it and highlight it, and then up here in the corner, or actually let's click on that, or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. That's another font that I have. Right here, the size of the font, you can make it smaller. As you guys can see there, it'll become a lot smaller. And oh, and then there you go. It won't come up like that, I promise. All right, go back. There we go. AG. Oh, it's in Times New Roman, but don't worry about it. None of this stuff will happen to you as long as you're not doing what I'm doing. For some reason, it's being dumb for me. There you go. That's what it should look like. And then, like I said, you can make this smaller box to fit it, and then click on the arrow, and then go ahead and move it around, whatever you want to do. Make it bigger. Now it'll only make it bigger if you're on the arrow. If you're not on the arrow, it won't make it bigger. If you're on the text, as you guys can see here, just apply the changes, click on it, it won't make it bigger. As you guys can see, it won't make it bigger. So you have to be on the arrow and then on it to make it bigger. So then you can just move it over here, whatever you want to do, make it smaller, make it bigger, whatever your preference is. And then once you're completely finished with your overlay, what you're going to do is you're going to go to File and then Save As. Yes, apply the changes before saving. Now you don't need to save it in Photoshop. The only reason you would need to save it into Photoshop is if you want to use it again. So if you are interested in maybe changing your overlay eventually, or doing anything different to it, if you don't like it, then I would save it in Photoshop. But if you are very content with it and don't plan on changing it for a while, I would go down to change your format and change it to PNG. Make sure you don't change it to JPEG. On any of my other thumbnails or any other thing that I make, I will save it to JPEG, but for some reason OBS and Twitch do not like JPEG when it comes to overlays, so make sure you save it in PNG. That is the biggest part of this whole entire tutorial. PNG, you must save it as PNG. And then as you guys can see, that's my own one, and I'll show you guys right after this. And then once you save it as a PNG, don't worry about any of this stuff, and you can rename it if you want to, and then go ahead and save it. Yes, it doesn't matter, you don't have to change any of that stuff. Now that you're done with that, you don't really need to change anything, so you can click no, and then you can go to your file, and then your pictures, and then here you are right here. As you guys can see, here is your photo or your overlay right now. Now if you want to add it, make sure you guys go and watch my other tutorial on streaming to Twitch. I will show you guys how to put overlays onto your OBS and Twitch to make sure you guys, it will show up on your streams. So right now, this is what mine looks like, RGC_Savage. There's the front, and I put a little bit of a texture on it, as you guys can see. RGC Savage, my Twitter, my YouTube, my Instagram, my Snapchat. Make sure you guys go all and check those out. Make sure you follow me on Twitch as well. Just FYI, I'm giving away a free PS4 camera to anybody who subscribes to my YouTube and follows me on Twitter. So right now we've only got like 15 people, not even 15 people, closer to like 10 people entered into the free PS4 camera drawing. So make sure you guys are on top of that if you are interested in it. And then this is what it somewhat should look like. No, not that. Right there. It should be, you know, as you guys can see, overlay, you can add it and everything else like that, but that's what it should somewhat look like down the bottom sources. Once you're done, as you guys can see right there, is what it should look like. RGC_Savage, you'll see this is my webcam once I have it used, and then I'm playing. I don't have my ELGATO game capture hooked up right now, so it's not showing any gameplay, and I'm not playing. So this is what mine looks like. As you guys can see, the black drop down shadow that I put on them. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's tutorial. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please smash that like button. It would really help me out. Subscribe if you're new, and if you have not already, please subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching today's video, and I will see you all in the next one.